go, what am I doing? And she's like, just enjoy. I'm like, are you kidding me with this guy? And he's quite a character to look at visually. There's something there that's just kind of funny. And he's been given this like old satin type jacket that this woman's father used to wear. Her father used to be a boxer in Guatemala. So this is like some silk boxing jacket that had been worn throughout the years and dirty and stained, so he was having to clean this thing. And then on top of that, there was another woman that had this old quilt that had been handed down from generation to generation and just trying to rejuvenate the quilt. Use different techniques. And I'm like, am I seriously? I can't possibly be watching this. And then I ended up flipping away and then coming back and watched the end of it. And at the end of it, it was like a really emotional part. I'm like, am I getting emotionally compromised because this woman is having a connection again to her dad with this jacket that this guy almost ruined because he started to soak it in the water and started to apply some kind of cleansing to it and then some cleaner to it, and it started to bleed, so we had to quickly rinse off all that. It was crazy, stupid, dumb, dumbest thing I've ever watched in my life, and yet I watched 60% of it. I'm embarrassed.
You gotta bail when the commercial comes up, man.
The laundry guy. Sometimes it's a train wreck and you gotta go back to it, Like, did I just see that? Yeah, I think I know.
Well, basically, it's a story about him helping people get stains out of things.
Yeah, well, I guess that's how the first episode was, and little hints on how to clean stuff that you really... I don't know why I would care. I don't. I really don't. Hey, if I get an old shirt that's... I got sweat stains on it, get sweat. I'll throw it out. I don't... What am I doing? What am I doing? Now, the day that comes when he does a show about like cleaning sneakers or something, you're going to be interested. Or cleaning hats, we're all going to be interested.
I can just YouTube that stuff when it happens,
Not like with this guy. This guy's got flair, King.
Yeah, I know.
He's got flair.
Yeah. How many pieces?
At least 37 pieces.
Yeah, well, that's minimum. Do you want to be minimum, or do you want to do more? All right.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, 248-539-9797, the telephone number. I was embarrassed by it. I just thought you just charged something loose there, Tiger, and I felt like I had to go follow through on it. Paul's in Madison Heights. Paul, welcome to 97 on the ticket. Hey, Paul.
Hi. I got a wild overreaction to yesterday's game.
Let's go.
Yeah, Miggy's going to hit his 500th career home run before the All-Star break.
Okay, so you think he's going to hit 12 more? Is that where he's at? Was he 13 away?
That's what I'm saying.
So 12 more before the All-Star break. It's possible. It's quite possible, man. I don't know your head's at,
How many did he
Paul.
hit last year, though?
He hit 10 all of last year, but that was in 58 games, something like 56 games where he played.
Yep.
He can do it. 10 and 56 games is roughly 25 to 28 home run pace. So, I mean, could he do it? He can absolutely do it.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
Well, yeah, but you just called your shot. Stand by it, Paul. Own it.
He said, wow.
You got to own it. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. Hey, you think that's going to happen?
It's not a crazy prediction.
It's not crazy.
Not at all. I mean, has Miguel Cabrera, I know not recently, hit more than 30 home runs in a season?
Yes.
Yes. So
And can he do 12 more before the All-Star?
Exactly.
He's already got the one now. It's 12 to go,
it
right?
happened for sure. Absolutely. I
I think it will happen.
No, I don't. But that's not a crazy prediction. Now, if you would have said that he's going to hit 25 before the All-Star break, that's a crazy prediction. That's a crazy overreaction. But I think 12 more is doable.
Okay.
Yep.
I think he's going to do it before the All-Star break.
It's doable. I'm not gonna shoot you down and call that dumbass. I will not do that.
I think he's going to do it before the All-Star break.
That's a hell of a year for Miggy then, because I don't think many people thought his power numbers would be back. I mean, he might turn to like Singlio. You remember, kind of still drive the ball every time and then get it out of the park. Just when he goes oppo in a snowstorm and got people's juices flowing a little bit.
Yeah, well, he showed power last year. And so far, through one game, he's got power through one game. Not going to ignore that. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. Some more of your texts coming in. Way too early overreaction. Jacoby Jones will play the entire season and will have a 2020 season while playing Gold Glove caliber defense. Although he says golf glove caliber defense, I changed it to Gold Glove because I don't want him to go through the same pain and humiliation that I have when I misuse a word. a great start. Hey there, Gator. This is Anthony out of Rochester Hills. Miguel Cabrera should get the MVP. He did very well yesterday. If he stays healthy, he can go places. I went to opening day yesterday and I had fun. I'm glad that we won, but it was freezing and cold. Yes, it literally was freezing because it was 32 degrees or less. And cold, you betcha. With that wind held in there between 15 and 20 miles an hour, that knocked the wind chill down to the low 20s. That was freezing and cold. If the season ended today, we would be in the playoffs. That's Chuck in Northfield. Chuck's actually correct on it.
It's factual. It's not an overreaction.
Might be a play. Actually, it might be a playing game, but there'll be a lot of playing games. If that were the case. My overreaction to the Tigers game is that I put a $50 bet on them to win the World Series. Go Tigers, Brian in Ann Arbor. That's bold, and that's an overreaction. And I like it. The Tigers are like 100 and, I don't know, I have to look at the last, actually the Lions were like 150 to 1. So I don't know what the Tigers were. I'll have to check that out and relay that. But that was something. I do enjoy that. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. Okay. Final Four is tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon and then tomorrow evening we got Final Four games going on with Gonzaga and UCLA and Houston and Baylor. We have a question about the Gonzaga and UCLA game, and we want to get that to you. It's an interesting twist on both teams. We'll get to that next year on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, there's always one team that ruins your bracket. That's why this year, you gotta love FanDuel Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook, because on FanDuel, your first bet is risk-free. Doesn't matter if you bet on Michigan or Michigan State. New users get up to $1,000 in site credit back if your first bet doesn't go the way you planned. FanDuel has odds on all the action with games day and night. An easy-to-use app, multiple deposits, and fast withdrawals, always on promotions. And your next chance to win is minutes away. And if that's not enough, FanDuel wants to make you a millionaire. They're giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor. New and existing users get an additional shot at that payout every day you bet the tourney. So, if you want your shot at becoming a millionaire, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and use the promo code Doug so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Doug. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. No purchase necessary. Restrictions apply for $1 million drawing. Risk-free offer. The first online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. FanDuel, official sponsor of 97.1 The Ticket.
Green up your lawn with Scott's best 4-step lawn program. It's only $64.99 after instant rebate and get a $20 gift card. 6 locations or order online at EnglishGardens.com. Call 800-335-GROW for the store nearest you.
Odyssey knows that having baseball back is just better. A full season of games to look forward to? Better. And using BetQL's proven data and analytics to cash in those baseball bets more consistently? So much better. BetQL looks at every potential bet from every game to find you the most profitable opportunities. It's time to make baseball betting better. Visit BetQL.com and use promo code BETTER for 20% off. That's 20% off with promo code BETTER at BetQL.com. BetQL, an Odyssey company.
Why so serious?
Spilled your drink? Quick, the Quicker Picker-Upper. Bounty picks up spills and messes quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading value brand. So you can get back to the party. Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper. There's a lot of streaming services out there, each filled with reality TV, comedy, drama, and of course, superheroes. But there's one dedicated entirely to non-fiction TV and documentary films, and that's Curiosity Stream. History, science, nature, we've got it. Space, dinosaurs, big cats, we've got that too. And pretty much anything else you want to
started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
The next time you're in Vegas, head to the D Las Vegas. It's not on the Strip. It's in downtown Vegas. The odds are better, the party's bigger, and you'll feel right at home. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Odyssey is your new home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today.
Welcome back to the Carson Anderson Show here at 97.1 The Ticket. Radio.com is now Odyssey, so you can download the Odyssey app and listen to 97 The Ticket stream live. That's Odyssey, A-U-D-A-C-Y. Odyssey. Okay. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. Same number to text as well. So as we get ready for the Final Four, and Gonzaga and UCLA play. Kate, you brought this up before the show, and I think it's an excellent question. My first thought about this weekend when it comes to this game in particular is, what are Michigan fans doing? What are Michigan State fans doing? Both teams lost to UCLA. Are both teams rooting for UCLA to beat Gonzaga or not? What's the mindset of the fan when you see the team that you lost to continue to advance and have an opportunity to play for the championship? There's that. But then you brought up the other part, and that is Gonzaga still cute? I don't think they're still cute because they've been good for too long now. And when you get to be a #1 seed, you're no longer cute. You had a really good season. They're undefeated. That's not cute. That's just damn good. So there's a difference there. And the other thing is UCLA actually an underdog or a Cinderella story? I mean, this is arguably the most storied franchise, or not franchise, but the storied program in college basketball history, right? All the championships they won at UCLA, had some decent teams since then, although they're nowhere near the typical blue bloods we've seen recently, like North Carolina or Duke, Kansas, Michigan State, things like that. But Gonzaga certainly won't themselves to be that. They have to win a championship. They're really concerned. But UCLA is kind of a different thing because they always thought it was a good program and historically one of the best ever. So this matchup's interesting. And I'm having a hard time figuring out where my rooting interest is going. I don't have much of a rooting interest. Admittedly, when Michigan State gets knocked out, I really don't care too much about the tournament. I get bitter about it. I kind of shrivel up and I walk away. And yet I still watch it because I'm a sports fan and I do love sports. So I'm going to still watch it, of course. But I'm not sure what my body and my mind are going to tell me as I sit down and watch the game tomorrow of where my rooting interest is going to go. Do I want UCLA to continue so that I can think to myself, well, at least Michigan State lost to the team that ended up playing for a national championship? But that can twist on you a little bit, twist at you a little bit, because you can think about, hey, if we had beaten them, we could be in the same position. So then there's Gonzaga, who I no longer think is the cute story because they're the #1 seed. And because this is the strange pandemic year, I don't want the next team to go undefeated throughout a college basketball season and do it during the pandemic year, because I think it kind of takes away a little bit of that sheen. And I'd rather that they earn it in a more of a real season. I'm not saying this isn't a real season, because whoever wins, wins. And you're going to be crowned champion. I'm not going to argue that at all. But it's different this year than it is in years past. I'm not advocating for an asterisk on the season before anybody gets bent out of shape. That's not it. I just don't. It's different in my mind. But I can't look at Gonzaga as being cute. I story? I have a hard time thinking back. 248-539-9797 is a telephone number. What are you thinking when you think of this matchup with Gonzaga and UCLA? Does it play any kind of tricks in your mind? Where's your head at this?
You know, clearly Gonzaga is not the Cinderella story. They're the number one overall seed. You used the term cute, so did I. I mean, I guess they're not that cute program anymore. They've grown up. They're all grown up now, and they're all grown up.
Like, you can look at them and not think that you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, you don't have to root for them anymore because, like, that small school program, you root for no matter who it is. You're like, oh, yeah, nice to see some success out of them. You don't do that with Gonzaga anymore, even though they haven't won a championship. And they still need to do that to solidify, being one of the big boys, I guess, because that's where they want to be ultimately, right? UCLA, you brought up, has all the history. But, as of recent, they haven't won a championship of recent memory. So they're, kind of been, in the back burner. And then this year, specifically in this tournament, they played in the play-in game, you know what I mean, with Michigan State to get where they're at. Obviously, they're the underdog. Gonzaga's a better team. You look at the point spread right
There's
up
no
there.
doubt they're an underdog.
Exactly.
Was it still a double-digit spread? I have to check that.
I think you could be the underdog. Yeah, it's the biggest like spread in a long time, if not, within the last 20 years or so. You can be an underdog and not be a Cinderella, and I think that's exactly where UCLA is. I mean, it's UCLA. I'm trying to see here. Are they a Cinderella just for this season? Is it Cinderella? I just don't see it. I guess they're still UCLA in my mind, and still a big program, whether they've been good or not. They're, like I said, they're clearly the underdog. So at the end, when you find yourself watching a close game, if this is a close game, I think you gravitate towards one team, though, just to kind of root for. I think it's
you end up having a rooting interest. Yeah. I just don't know where it's going to be right now.
Exactly. We're both going into it not really rooting for anyone because we just probably want to see a good game. But if it comes down to it, it's less than a minute left. It's a one-possession game. I think you find yourself kind of leaning one way or wanting something to happen. You know what I mean? I hope this guy misses this shot, or I hope he makes this shot, or they get the stop. I don't know where it's going to be. It's a cop-out right now, but I think, as the game goes along, I'll start to feel it. I'll get a feel for what I want to root for. Right now, I'm just rooting for a good game.
And right now, Gonzaga's a 14-point favorite.
Huge. That's a huge.
They've been playing ridiculously good throughout the tournament. They are, I think, clearly the best team in the country. This isn't breaking news here. They played that way. They haven't really been tested at all. They're 30-0, and they're taking on the 11th seed. So, much like Michigan as number one seed taking on 11th seed, my thought going into it is, they should win. This point spread is more than twice what it was in Michigan UCLA. Gonzaga they're not hurting because they've lost one of their key players, right? Gonzaga has the same head coach they've had for a long, long time. They all know Mark Few's system, and he's done an amazing job with that program to take it to these heights where they're at. The 14-point spread is well deserved. UCLA had other teams playing to their level. They would kind of muck it up and make you play their game. And that's one of the reasons why Michigan lost. Michigan should lose a game where they give up 51 points, and yet they did because it got mucked up. UCLA beat Michigan State. Why? Well, they mucked it up. They got them down to their level. Alabama lost to UCLA. Why? Because they mucked it up. They brought it down to their level. Hey, we're gonna make you miss every free throw you do. We're gonna hack and whack it, and that's what happened. I think right now I'm kind of leaning towards rooting for UCLA, and it has nothing to do with them beating Michigan State and wanting high school Michigan State to say, hey, well, at least we lost to the eventual winner. It might have everything to do with just rooting for the underdog, and that I don't want. And this is another thing that comes in subconscious with me. I don't want a crap conference champion to go this far. Gonzaga is not a crap team. They're not at all. Not even close. Okay? And the fact that they schedule tough outside of their own conference, you have to respect what Gonzaga does. But I don't want them to be legitimized. Maybe I'm a bad person, but that's how I feel. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. We got some people on hold. We're going to get to those calls and your text. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. More of that next. Also, make sure you listen up. You got your chance to win $1,000 with the Odyssey ticket signing bonus That's coming up in this commercial break, more than likely. Your chance to win $1,000 through Odyssey ticket signing. This is 97.1, The Ticket.
This week in Red Wings hockey, brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Coach Jeff Blashill talks about how he juggles his defense.
There's a multitude of reasons why we choose between 7 and 6. Some of it's the forward, some of it's the D. But once you decide to go to 6, somebody has to come out. And then we make a decision. We make it for, especially teams, we make it for the makeup of our lead core. We make it for the play of each player. And then the guy that comes out, obviously is not happy, but he puts himself in a position where he's not in the discussion to come out.
This week in Red Wings hockey, brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Chevy dealers are at full strength with the Chevy Colorado. Colorado is the perfect midsize truck that will get the job done, then have a night on the town after. With rugged good looks and advanced technology like available 4G LTE Wi-Fi, Chevy Colorado is a truck that fits in whether it's work or play. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Our energy grid. It powers the present and fuels the future. That's why DTE is working every day, planning and building the grid of tomorrow, investing in infrastructure that's stronger and more resilient, using advanced technologies to make it smarter and more responsive, so you can have reliable, affordable energy where you need it, when you need it. Learn more at DTEenergy.com. DTE. There is nothing more beautiful than a tree. Unless, of course, it's fallen on your power lines. Fallen trees are responsible for nearly 70% of the time DTE customers are without power. So DTE is stepping up efforts to trim overgrown trees to keep you safe and the electric grid reliable. And it works. Where we've completed tree trimming, customers have had 60% fewer outages. Learn more at DTEenergy.com/treecare. DTE.
Introducing Fidelity Income Planning. We look at how much you've saved, how much you'll need, and help you build a straightforward plan to generate income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Mortgage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
The model for world-class competition has always been faster, higher, stronger. It's the same for Navien, makers of condensing tankless water heaters. Faster to install and set up. Higher performance and efficiency to provide endless hot water. Stronger with the industry's strongest warranty. All because of the copper-free stainless steel heat exchanger built in every unit. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com. That's tanklessmadesimple.com.
Piston fans, are you ready for Michigan's premium sportsbook? PointsBet gives you faster bets, faster withdrawals and rewards. Download the PointsBet app now and sign up with code Michigan2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Pearl of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to nbphealth.com.
This hour's ticket signing bonus kicker is Blizzard. Text Blizzard to 72881 for your chance at $1,000.
Text Blizzard to 72881. Your chance to win $1,000. Damn, a lot of money. Be great.
Just like the weather the Tigers played in yesterday, blizzard.
Kind of a blizzard. Not really, but kind of. More of a squall, but blizzard. Yes, blizzard. It's so funny when you watch that in this time of the year when, because you know what's going to happen. Like snow is coming down big time, but you know it's not going to last, and then it's just going to disappear as soon as it hits the ground. None of it was going to do anything. So it's just weird watching the game at different points during the day. First, second inning, you're seeing snow squalls. Fourth inning, you see nothing. Eighth, ninth inning, you start to see more snow coming down again, and then it's just blue sky when it's all said and done. And the Tigers end up winning 3-2. Get the first game out of the way, the first win out of the way, first home run out of the way from Miguel Cabrera, first win for Matthew Boyd. Lots of firsts. That's why we ask people to wait too early conclusions to draw from the Open. And my conclusion is just double down on my bold-ass prediction, and that is Matthew Boyd is going to represent the Tigers in the All-Star game. For Kang, it's Miggy is back. He's back, baby. Which means a lot of fun for Tiger fans this year.
Now, what's probably going to happen is, because I've thought that Miggy should always be playing in the field more. Like, they try to just make him a DH, and I understand why, but I think he's personally better when he's out in the field. I think he's better for the clubhouse when he's happy and energizing. It helps make the other players feel better. But what probably is going to happen now is he's going to play the field more, right?
Yes.
And he's going to get hurt because of it.
Well, he might. He might. I hope not. I hope that they manage it well. I hope that there's a good conversation that goes and good communication that goes on between Cabrera and AJ Hinch. I said Finch earlier. Hinch, so that they can work out a plan that's best to maximize what he can do this year. Because there are going to be times he's going to have to DH. Ron Gardner didn't want to use him at first base at all the last couple of years because he's been breaking down. Break glass only in emergencies when he wanted to use it. Well, this year, starting from game one, he's played first base, and he played first base in a blizzard. So there you have it. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. We're also asking people about the Final Four tomorrow. We've got the first game is Houston and Baylor, and then the nightcap, if you will, is Gonzaga and UCLA, where the Zags are a 14-point favorite over the Bruins at this point in time. And what are your feelings with this game? Because it's UCLA who knocked out both Michigan and Michigan State. And, Gonzaga is the number one overall seed, but do you still root for the underdog? You have a hard time rooting for UCLA? Or is it easy for you to root for UCLA? I can't root for Gonzaga. You can call me a bad person. I just don't want that program to be legitimized. Even though they are a legit great team, and I know that. I don't want them to win a national championship. I just don't want to see it. And I think it's making me look like a bad guy, but it's okay. I can live with it. Josh is in Warren. Josh, welcome to 97.1 The Ticket. Hey, Josh.
Hey, guys. I think you guys are thinking a little small here with the Miggy thing before I get to my point. The question is, can he play third when we're in the World Series against the Dodgers? Because that range he has. No, I'm just kidding. I just don't want him to turn into Miguel Cabrera and he takes 312. But my thing is, I have a prediction next week, Gator, and it was kind of like how the Dr. Oz prediction came on about this. I think Timmy and Gonzaga may become on your list by next week because of the mustache, the flexing, the bravado they try to put out there. And you don't like look at me guy.
No, I don't.
Timmy is a look at me guy.
Yeah, I was thinking that driving this morning. I was listening to Stoney and Jansen talking about it too, and I do not like the look at me guy. But I brought attention to this when the tournament first started, and I saw the stash and the headband, and I asked on the air, is this just a Pacific Northwest thing? Because Gardner Minshew did that when he was at Washington State. He had the crazy mustache and the headband, and Gonzaga's.
But Gardner Minshew didn't go out there, just doing layups and little jump shots inside the key and then flexing on guys like Timmy does.
No.
I think if you're going to watch these next two games, and you're going to come out. I believe it's going to be Tuesday, right, with the championship Monday, and you're going to be like, yeah, he might be on the list.
You're entirely. It could be entirely correct. In fact, he may go on the list before the end of today, if that's the case. No,
I'll go back and rewatch the highlights of the Elite Eight game. He took like a 5-foot jumper over a 6'5" guy, and he flexed on him.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I appreciate the call, Josh. It's a preemptive strike. He's calling a shot for the Tuesday on that. That may happen Monday, depending on how obnoxious it gets tomorrow. Could you see that, Ken?
Oh, for you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I think guys have been put on for less.
Yeah.
On the list.
Yeah, you're right. And by the way.
Yeah, he's got Monday. Is it happening?
For which?
Oz.
Oh, he's on now.
Wait. Well, we got to wait for Doug. He'll read the list.
I'll wait for Doug for Monday. But
yeah. But between me and you and everyone listening.
He's so on the list.
And we knew this was coming.
I watched it again yesterday.
I told you. We knew.
This guy. No. I don't like his voice.
So is it going to be him? So we can clarify before Doug gets here Monday.
Yeah.
Is it going to be him or is it going to be him as the host of Jeopardy?
I think it's him.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I think, because I think it's unfair just to say it's just him as the host. I think I'm going to...
That's what
I know, I'm going to go all in.
Okay.
I'm going all
because
in.
he was never put on the list before.
No, but I wasn't a big fan of his before. So this just kind of solidifies
Okay.
it, you know? No. What is Montana? No.
So come Monday.
What is Wyoming? No. Nevada? Wrong.
It's the category. States?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. States that are west of Michigan. Evan Jenkins, what's your answer? Is it New York? No. I don't like that. And I can't stand up on Jeopardy. 248-539-9797. Aubrey's on his cell phone. Aubrey, welcome 97 on the ticket.
Hey guys, how you doing?
All right.
Great day to be alive. They have Motor City and no work today. Tell you what, a conclusion some great stuff. Just loving and Tennessee today. But hey, one of the final points. Look, I get it. I got Gonzaga, I've got Baylor. As I was telling your leader, I looked at the Gonzaga team like I did Villanova a couple of years ago when they played Michigan, and it was clear that Villanova had something above everybody else. And when you look at Gonzaga, it's the same thing. They're not going to fall on their face like Michigan did, unfortunately, the other night, where they scored 49 points. I guess they'll see that happen. I think that Baylor will take care of Houston pretty easily. And I think this is a good game. It's a championship game, but I just see Gonzaga, frankly, going all the way. And again, I think just a little bit above everybody else in the championship.
Yeah, I think they're more than a little bit above, and thanks for the call, Aubrey. I think they're more than a little bit above everybody else. I think they are head and shoulders the best team in basketball this year in college hoops. Their season stats are insane. They average over 91 points a game. Their opponents score 64 points a game. Their field goal percentage is 55%. As a team, they shoot 55% from the field. And I love, as I'm looking at the team stats, and then there's ESPN there, the game day portion of the stat sheet. It says streak. Well, they are on a 30-game streak. It's just crazy.
Make sure it's accurate.
Well, they are 30-0. And, 30 games.
OB in a row.
In a row.
That's a streak. They're streaking.
I'd have to look and see what they did last year in 2020, if they finished the season lost before things got shut down. I don't know. But I'm going to trust the W30 in their streak and assume that's what it is. And they just haven't been challenged. I mean, really. The last time they were close to being challenged was against BYU. And that was they won by 10 points. They're just really, really good basketball team. Joe is on a cell phone. Joe, welcome to 97 on the ticket. Hey, Joe.
Good morning. Good morning, Gator. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So, with what Kang said about Hitch playing maybe more at first base, is the backroom material right be happening. He's going to end up playing there more. He's going to get hurt. He's going to have a career-threatening injury that he's got to come back from. And he's going to end his career with 499 home runs.
Oh, how would you wish that anybody would be done? That's terrible.
No, I'm not wishing on it. I just see what happens, and that's, kind of a luck that the team chairman Jordan have had lately.
What kind of career-ending injury do you suffer as a first baseman?
A knee injury, a hip injury.
I know you don't know if that's the case. You just think that's the case because of playing and risking. I get that. Thanks for the call, Joe. I think that's a fear that every Tiger fan has at some point. I mean, look, a lot of Tiger fans have written him off and just said, look, he's kind of done anyway. He's well on the downside of his career. Obviously, the Tigers are stuck with him because of the contract. There's a couple more years on it. Frankly, with this year and the 2 more years, there's over $90 million committed to Miguel Cabrera, and he's certainly not what he was. So there are a lot of Tiger fans out there like, I'm done. But I'm the eternal optimist when it comes to things like this, and I can see a path where Miguel Cabrera can still be productive. But even to me, that path has to be with a good mix of games at DH and at first base. I don't know what the ultimate mix is going to be from A.J. Hinch and Miguel Cabrera, what they decide on.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. I mean, could you put a number on how many games you think he should or can play at first base this year?
I think they also have to do the typical maintenance anyway of a veteran player where he's just going to have days off.
Load management.
And it goes back to, thinking of Jim Leland when he was the manager of the Tigers, and he liked to give guys a day off before the off days, and they have 2 days off. And I think that kind of thing is still going to happen here with Cabrera. I would imagine if the Tigers end up playing a full 162 this year, that he would play somewhere between 140 and 150 games if he's completely healthy, or probably closer to 140. And out of those 140 games, I don't know what the mix is. I mean, to me, I would think that you want to go kind of a 50-50 mix. Maybe a little bit more if he looks good, then go ahead and keep, because they are a better team with him at first base.
Well, yeah,
no question.
I don't want to sound hypocritical or anything, because I advocate for Miguel being in the field, but then I, recently just said I caution, because this also gives him more opportunity to get hurt. He's not, you mentioned, he is on the downside of his career. Yeah. Breaking news, He's not in the same shape he was. He's not the same player he was. I mean, there's a more he's older. There's just a likelier chance of him getting hurt, whether he plays first or not. And you put him on first, things can happen, I think it's worth the risk, though. Obviously I don't want anything bad to happen to Miguel. I hope he stays healthy the entire year and plays as many games as possible, but when you put him out there is a risk. I think it's worth the risk. I think he makes him a better player, makes the team a better team. It's all about how A.J. Hinch manages, like you said, how many games does he play at first? How many does he DH? How many does he sit, getaway day? We are here with the getaway lineup, it's no one out there that's, they're trying to get the extra day off. So they got all the bench players playing. But, yeah, it's how does A.J. manage this? And this is one of the reasons why they hired him, right? They trust A.J. to do what's right to get this team moving forward, whether Miguel's going to be a part of it or not.
I think a lot of baseball fans and Tiger fans in particular the go-to comparison is to David Ortiz. When he committed to being a full-time DH, he embraced it. He wasn't a very good defensive player to begin with, but he embraced being a DH. And when he went to Boston, his career just exploded. He was good at Minnesota, but when he went to Boston, it just exploded. And the fact that his numbers stayed consistently great, even to the year when he retired, is remarkable what he was. And, that's the height of the scale that you hope that he can be like a David Ortiz. The problem is that David Ortiz was on a tremendous baseball team with the Red Sox. They were very, very competitive. They were winning World Series and competing for World Series titles. So he had a lineup around him that was fantastic, that you had to pitch to David Ortiz. And it's just not the same situation with the Tigers right now that Ortiz had with the Red Sox. So I think it'd be unreal to expect that kind of production from him. But I do think he can still be productive as a player here in Detroit. But they've got to be careful with how they use him. 248-539-9797, the telephone number, save number to text if you'd like to comment on the Tigers. And we had the way too early projections for the rest of the season with the Tigers. Your way too early conclusion to draw about this team. If you went downtown, I'd love to hear from you. And what was the experience like as you watched through squall after squall after squall? Also, with the Final Four taking place tomorrow, you look at the matchup with UCLA and Gonzaga. Is any team cute anymore? Is it cute to see Gonzaga have their chance to win? Or they just look, they outgrew the cute stage years ago. They're number one seed. They're a grown-ass team. And with UCLA, to even look at UCLA as being a Cinderella story, I mean, it's UCLA. Underdog, yes. Cinderella? This is 97.1 The Ticket. Well, the now legendary 24 Seconds Bar and Grill in Berkeley is the place to be for great times with great friends. They have big screen TVs all throughout the place. You talk about a sports bar, this is the place you go to watch all the games. Come on down and watch the basketball tournament this Saturday and Monday. Great specials during the tournament all day, every day. So be sure to catch the games at 24 Seconds on the big screens that they have there. They've got flat screen TVs all throughout the place. They pipe in all the sound for the big games, like, say, games this weekend. And for the Tigers, they've got $3 bottles and cans of Miller Lite and Coors Light during all the baseball games. So be sure to check out the best wings in town. And if you need an event catered, think about this. Let 24 Seconds do all the work. The food there is great. They know what they're doing. They've been doing this catering thing for a while now. Let them do the work, and you just bring it home to the family and friends. The rooftop deck, it's still open. It will be. It's enclosed with a tent. They've got the heat